We are getting old.
My dream is to be a pilot. I want to be an architect.
Geologist.
You and I are growing further. You don't really talk to me.
Hello, welcome. We're here with the One Degree Alumni Podcast, Episode 8. My name's Roger from One Degree, and today we're with Myron from the 2015 program, a long time ago. Hey, Myron, how are you doing?
Hey, Roger. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. So good to see you again, and good to have a little catch up about One Degree back in the day. Let's dive straight in. Tell me your memories from that time in 2015, and anything you can remember when you look back now.
2015 just seems like yesterday, right? It was almost 9 years ago. 2015 was a bit of a challenging year for me. I had moved to the UK very recently, around 2014, I think 2013, 14, I moved to the UK. So was going through a cultural change, I should say. My English wasn't good. I was basically kind of drowning in problems. I was just thrown into GCSEs, right? Like when you come to the UK, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, GCSEs. The very important years. Couple of years, you need to do this, you need to do that." And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So overwhelmed with fear. I don't know, fear, anxiety. Sometimes I had like sleepless nights thinking like, how am I going to manage this, that? And I was struggling the first year of GCSE, year 10, because I came from India. I skipped year 9 because of my age or something. They said you can go to year 10 directly, and I was like, oh, okay, that sounds good. So didn't really mind, but looking back, I think I should have gone to year 9. Did jump to year 10, and year 10 was the first few months was kind of painful. I was put in like bottom sets for maths, English, because they didn't kind of have any of my previous records, because I came from India, and they were like, you kind of need to climb up the ladder. My English wasn't up to, it wasn't that good. I could not speak as well as much. I could speak, but understanding people was a bit difficult. Understanding people's accent was very difficult. So even in like math sessions, when the teacher would speak and stuff, you need to understand what the teacher is saying in the classroom. And sometimes I had problems like digesting the information, thinking like, what did he just say? I can't understand it. And then I had to so I was in set 5 for maths, bottom set for English, and I was just not in a good place. And then one of the, I think it was in the morning, that we had these sessions, I forgot, like an assembly, I think it's called assembly. You came in and you had a chat with the people, not the people, like the students. And I thought, going to school on a Saturday as well, like I don't know, that doesn't sound that. But I was like, okay, let's just give it a go, So I don't know how I got selected. I think I had to sign up, or I don't know. I don't remember exactly how I got selected, but I'm glad if I signed up, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad if you chose, then I'm glad for that as well. It was very interesting to kind of learn from the teachers in the school, and then learn from the mentors who are in the program. When I came to the UK, very shy, can't speak. So because I could not speak and understand English as much, I was a bit like, don't want to speak, I don't want to interact with people. So the way the mentors, I think, handled us, those kids who were in like a struggling phase, I think I remember that the most, helping me gain my confidence to understand things. They said it's all right to ask questions to your teachers. It's okay to, if you don't understand, just say you don't understand, because how are you going to learn if you just keep going? If you just agree with people like, yeah, I understand, no one's like can read your mind. So I think that was good. And then I think the one of the good memories I have is also about food. So every I think mostly was the Tops pizzas that we would get. So that was a good encouragement to come in every Saturday, right? And then we had breakfast in the morning. So it was I would say it felt less like a Saturday school and more like it was like a school, but it was like a chill day where you could speak to your friends, do what you want, have breakfast, connect, and then there was lunch. Those are kind. I don't know if that kind of answers the question, but
that's perfect. I mean, at what point did you start to see, actually, this is helping, and I don't mind coming in here on Saturdays? Was it quite early on, or did it take quite a while before you thought, actually, this is actually really helping me?
It took me a while, because at the beginning, I guess with any things, until you try and you give it at least like some time, you don't realize the value of it. So I didn't realize the value of it, I think, until we started doing, because we were focused on doing like the English mock papers and things like that. So when we started doing that, I saw the value of it. And then another place I saw the value is when I started moving up the sets. So maths, because I could understand English eventually a bit better, and I was asking questions to like the teachers, I was not kind of building up my confidence. I moved up to set 3, and then I was doing when I joined, I was doing foundation paper. So I think towards like the middle of the program somewhere, I moved to set 3, still doing foundation paper, and then they saw that I'm improving in grades, so they put me in set 2, and then that's when I was like One Degree is really helping me. So I ended up doing the higher paper, and then in English, actually, speaking of English also helped me with my science. So I was doing foundation paper in science. I ended up doing double science because I could understand things better. And in terms of English, I moved to set 1 towards the end of towards the middle of the program. They moved me to set 3 because they could see I'm really improving, I'm really trying, and towards the end of my I think end of year 11, mid year 11, they moved me to set 1, and they were like, would you like to do literature as well? So I think that's when I kind of was like, One Degree is like, it's just helped me like just drag myself out of a hole, and because people keep saying like GCSEs is like, at that time when I was, and I think it's with everyone even now, GCSE, people say GCSE, you can't do anything without GCSEs. It's not, it's like, if you don't get it, it's the end of the world. that's how kind of people see it at that stage. So I really saw like how One Degree's help kind of pulled me up. I know that the Saturday, sometimes we even had Sunday schools, Saturday and Sunday. So that's when I kind of started seeing the value, when I started moving up the sets, and teachers started saying like, oh, you can do higher paper now, you don't have to do foundation. So they were like, because that showed they were confident on me at least getting a C. And that doesn't mean I have to get a C, but in foundation, I think the max you can get is a C. And then it's like, that shows they're not really confident in you. But when they ask you, like, do you want to do a higher paper? That shows like they kind of start to trust you. So
But it's amazing, isn't it? That I mean, obviously, One Degree has always had this focus on English and maths as the sort of core subjects. But just like you've described, what a lot of people don't realize and only subsequently realize after they've gone through it is that it has this knock-on effect with so many other subjects, doesn't it? Because it's not just about the maths and English. It's about how to tackle problem solving, how to answer questions, and then, as you said, just starting to understand the way questions are asked and phrased a bit more generally across, any exam paper. So nice that you said that, actually.
Yeah. Because even when I was in religious, because it was a Catholic school that I went to, religious education, I was good at religious education anyways, but like, because the English bit is kind of a barrier to understanding things. And I guess it's also the mentors that just speak to you. They take their time. It's like people pay for tuitions, like they like one-to-one is not is like the way they did it with us. At least it was one-to-one. The mentors would sit down with you, explain to you, this is what the question is asking, this is how you should interpret it, like this is how you should read between the lines, explain inference, all these kind of like things, which because when you go to the school, there's so many students, the teachers actually themselves don't have that much time, I think, to spend on like one-to-one. So yeah, I think that's another bit that helped me a lot. Like the mentors would help me with one-to-one. Like they would sit with me sometimes and be like, this is how you should do it,
And then sort of other than the academic side and English and maths and all the knock-on effect with the other subjects, do you have any other memories of some of the life skills that you picked up along the way, or some of the other little soft skills or lessons that either got passed on by guest speakers or workshops or by the mentors? You got any memories of any of that?
Yeah, I think we had a session about creating our CVs. I didn't even know what a CV is, because I never had one before that. So I think we had a session. It was called CV Plus, I think, where you guys had a session where you taught us, like, you can just put in your information and then it will throw out like a generic version of a CV. And that kind of helped me get perspective of like life is about experience. So I think this was also explained by some of the speakers that were there, but I would think of, because CV was on its own is like nothing to me, because at that time I was like, what is CV? Like you can just tell people what you're doing. You don't need like a piece of paper handing around. But I think it was around like telling people your experiences. And I actually remember using that CV to get my first job. So I think those are the soft skills I kind of learned of communication, through not just like verbal communication, but through like CV, cover letter, those kind of things. What do you need to sell yourself, basically, to show you're the best, basically. So I think those are the kind of soft skills I remember.
Nice. And then, okay, so you got through One Degree, obviously went into your exams with, a bit more confidence than you had started, before One Degree, which is great. Got through all of that. Talk to me a little bit about the next phase in your life then. So, post One Degree and for the next few years after that, what you got up to.
So after One Degree, after I've done my GCSEs, we obviously had that One Degree graduation ceremony where I kind of talked about my journey a bit. I still have those pictures. After that, I went on to do A-levels. And people basically said to me, because I chose computer science, business studies, economics, and maths, not further maths, just maths. And people were like, it's not going to be easy, this and that, They were like, why don't you do BTech? And I was like, I want to do A levels, because I kind of gained that confidence from One Degree, right? Like, things are possible if you try hard enough. I was like, I want to do A levels, so went ahead, did my A levels. Maths didn't go well. Like, I think I got a C in the first exam, C, and then I was good in business studies, computer science, and economics was okay. So I dropped maths in the second year of A levels, and then that was in 2017. So in 2017 I actually passed all of my A levels. So I got 3 Bs, I think. I don't actually remember. I think it's 3 Bs, yeah. So a B in computer science, economics, and business studies, yeah. So that helped me kind of learn about, so I was more interested in like how like technology is kind of used in business side of things. So I decided to study business computing in Brunel University. So yeah, after my A levels, went to Brunel University, did business computing, and after that, I tried to do placement, but I was not lucky. I didn't get a placement, and then I got a first in my degree, business computing.
Amazing.
So yeah, that was a big achievement, because I am the first person in our family to kind of get a degree. My parents don't have a degree. They've always come up through like manual jobs and things like that. So it was a big achievement to kind of get that first like first class degree.
Massive.
Yeah. So yeah, that and then I think it was COVID time during that, because I graduated in 2020 but could not have my graduation because it was COVID. So just got the thing online that said like, you know, first, and that's it.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
Oh.
And after that, I was still working whilst doing my degree and my A levels. I was working in IKEA. So I was working in IKEA for almost 5 years. So my degree, and I would carry on working in IKEA after my degree, because it was so difficult to get a job, and I didn't have any experience. So it was really difficult, like, to get a job. And then I was also applying for wrong type of jobs, I should say. So I tried to go into like IT side of things, where, you know, like it's an IT technician or those kind of things, but that was not really my degree. So I think I spent like 6 months trying to apply for wrong jobs, and then we had Brunel had this they had like this coaching program, I think, for students who could not find a job even after their graduation. And just like One Degree, I was like, okay, I'll just try. I'll just try it. Whatever helps me. So I just tried it, and it actually helped me. They were like, you're applying for the wrong jobs. Your degree is about business computing, so it's about like, I was like, yeah, so what kind of jobs can I apply in the head? They're like, so you can apply for like business analyst, anything like agile, product manager kind of roles. I think product manager is too high without business analyst, but that's what they said. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So I changed my focus. So that whole 1 year, kind of, because of COVID and everything else that was happening at that time, that 1 year just ran past.
Yeah.
And then I got a job eventually in a company called Red Ant. Worked there as a junior solutions manager. That was their role. It was basically like a business analyst role, but you had to do a bit of testing and things like that. So fortunately, in that company, when I was working, I did a bit of traveling. So I could travel. I traveled to Dubai because my client was based there. So I went there, trained a few sales assistants, because the app we developed was for the people in shops. So trained a few people there, how to use the app, and got their feedback, what could be improved. Had a workshops with them. So, and then also went France, because we had another client in France. So yeah, went there. So yeah, that was a bit of traveling. I really enjoyed that bit. And then I eventually moved on. So from junior, they made me a normal solutions manager, which is like, I think, like a no longer junior anymore. And then after a year and 6 months from there, I just moved to civil service. In December 2022, I moved to civil service, and I have been with them for that time.
Wow. I mean, that's quite a phenomenal journey, actually, and you discovering your path along the way and kind of picking up these little tips, and I suppose constantly learning and constantly going. During that period, before sort of getting to where you are now, were you drawing on any bits of inspiration or any bits of advice that you maybe picked up, from some mentors or from One Degree that kind of were good points to like refer back to and think, oh, no, I can do this and this is why, and any sort of things you drew on from back in the day? Yeah, definitely.
So one of the mentors, I think, told me there's no such thing as stupid questions. I till this day, I still use that. Like I say that in my head. Like, there's no stupid questions. If you're not sure, just ask people. Some people think. Not some people. I was one of them. I would think if I ask a question, someone would laugh at me, or they think something is wrong with this guy. And that time, I don't remember who that mentor was, but they explained to me that's not the case. If you have a question, ask. You'll be better off with knowing what you're doing rather than just going with the flow kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I still use that advice, I should say. Another advice, I think someone mentioned this, was doesn't matter what degree you do, you can, like, it's not your set career path. So even though I did my degree in my background was computers and business studies and things like that, that kind of gave me a confidence to know that I don't have to do like IT. I can do something else. Then they told me degree is just a piece of paper that shows that you've done certain things, and you've done it really well. So someone told me like they did a degree in something different, and then they went and did like completely different thing. I'm like, wow, that is I don't remember the degree and what they went into doing, but they told me that, and I remember the feeling I remember is, wow, you can do that. Like, if you do a degree, you're not like you shouldn't just focus on that. You can do like a change or whatever. And then the not final, but like another thing is, I think just self-confidence. Like I said at the beginning, I was a shy person. I still am an introvert. I wouldn't say I'm like a full-on like social person, but compared to where I was 9 years ago, and then those little bits of advice that I've, something just stick in your head, like you just remember it. So I've just learned to be more self-confident and trust in my decisions. And yeah, I think that's pretty much how much I remember.
I mean, I can see the changes in you, because I can remember you so well from 9 years ago in 2015 and now, and how well you're expressing yourself and articulating everything. And I mean, you have done so well, and you've progressed through it so well, and you're really humble about it. And yeah, you need to be proud of yourself, because it's, life is an unexpected journey, and you can be thrown down so many weird paths along the way, and to navigate it with the confidence that you have, and just not being too scared to try these new things and everything. You've done amazing, Myron. You really have. And it's good every now and again just to stop and think, actually, yeah, I have done pretty well. That's pretty good.
you don't realize the things you've achieved until you reflect. Like you sit down, like I'm talking to you, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm kind of reflecting on my past, like where I've actually come from. Obviously, I do remember, but I don't speak about it like every day. But once in a while, I think it's good to reflect, like where you came from and
Definitely
how, like, what was the help given to you, you know? So
yeah.
The reason I'm always appreciative to One Degree is that it's kind of shown me that asking for help is not wrong. So if you need help, you can ask. And the thing about One Degree is it really helped me. So I don't think I would be where I am without that sort of support during that time of my life, because when you're in your teens, all you think about is you have like your set mind, and either you listen or you don't listen. So I think even that year, I think the mentors did have like a challenging group. 2015, I think they did have a challenging group, and I think they did a really good job of kind of containing us and guiding us on the right path. So yeah.
Amazing. No, it's just so good to be a part of that journey, and just to hear you speak so fondly of it. And no, incredible. And I guess that brings us to where you are right now. And then, what are some of the aspirations for the future? And what's the journey looking like from here for you?
So at the moment, I am a business analyst in Ofgem. So I am working on certain schemes, helping administer them through like technology, so automating processes, things like that. So I think in terms of my future, I've not really given it that much thought, but I'm keen to do some further qualifications, more qualifications in my realm of work. So I'm a business analyst, so any qualifications from BCS or like requirements gathering or whatever qualifications, get some qualification certifications. I'm keen to kind of do that and kind of progress into like a senior business analyst, I guess. From that senior level, and then once into senior, I think you can either jump into like product management, be like a product owner or product manager, delivery manager, scrum master. There's lots of various things which you can do in agile management, agile methodology side of things. So at the moment, I think my next step is just get some qualifications, get the work experience, and then turn into like a senior business analyst or whatever, like those kind of, and then from there I will kind of see what other possibilities are there.
Take it from there. Moral of the story: you never stop learning, are you? You always have to find more paths to learn and more things to learn about.
Exactly. Yeah.
So to wrap it up, do you have any advice for GCSE students, going into that time of their life and thinking everything that all the challenges you've overcome, and how you had to build up your confidence and stuff like that? What advice have you got for 15-year-old Myron again, or someone else in a similar situation like you?
I would say don't be afraid to try out things, and I think as GCSE students, we are mostly focused on it's a short world, right? We don't see too far ahead. Like if you told me I would be a business analyst 9 years later, I wouldn't have believed you, even if you had told me my future. But I think it's teenagers, right? Teenagers years. So it's your short-term kind of goals. So my advice would be don't be afraid, learn to be confident, and then don't be afraid of asking don't think like there's stupid questions. There's no right or wrong questions. There's always it's just a question. So if you're not sure, speak up, and if you need help, ask for it. I think some cultures, it's a bit the way you come up, especially like the Asian background, people don't ask for help. So it doesn't matter if it's like mentally, physically, whatever, right? If you need help, ask for it. You need help. So that's the end of it. Like, you need help. And then last thing I would say is, so GCSEs is not the end of it. You will, like you said, you will always keep learning. So if you don't, I'm not saying don't do well in GCSEs, right? But like, I didn't know this when I was kind of doing my GCSEs, but even when you're doing university degrees, you're doing A levels, they still let you retake the GCSEs. So I'm not saying don't do well in your GCSEs, but it's not the end of the world if you like. You can always keep learning, keep improving yourself. Keep at it, and just keep learning your lessons, I guess, and you'll get there. So there is always opportunity for you to do your GCSEs again whilst you're doing your A levels. So you can do your GCSEs and A levels. Obviously, too much stress. That's the reason they say do GCSEs in year 11. But even if you don't get it, then you have opportunity to do like a foundation course in your university degree where you can learn English and maths. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to keep. Yeah.
No, that's perfect. I think that's a great point to end on, and thank you so much. It's been great catching up with you, and congratulations on everything you achieved so far. And I know you've still got a nice journey to go, and we'll definitely have another catch up next time and see where you've got to next, and sort of regroup then. That'd be great. But thank you so much. To everyone watching, you've been listening to the One Degree Alumni Podcast. This is episode 8. My name's Roger from One Degree, and you've been listening to Myron, a One Degree ex-student from 2015. Thanks, everyone. See you next time. Bye.